Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bastion. How you guys doing? Well, if you saw the short video I did, I did get a small order from Tackle Warehouse, just to stock it up on some things and trying something new that I've never tried before, and taking advantage of their I guess it was the Labor Day sale. I don't know. All these companies are having sales to try to boost business, I guess. But you know, some of this stuff you guys know that I like to use, and I always stock up on it. And then there's something, you know, here that I've never used before. So what the heck? I figured I'd give it a try. The new things I got, and a few of you guys have mentioned when I put the short up that these crossover rings from VMC for throwing a Nico rig, I never even heard of these until recently. And then I saw them on there for, they had whatever, they're 20% off. I thought I'd grab some. So I got some of the 5mm in the black and the 6mm. And then I know you're not going to probably be able to see them inside there, but I got the 5 and the 6mm in the clear color. And I also grabbed some of these Sniper Finesse weedless owner Nico rig hooks. If you guys haven't seen these crossover rings before and you like throwing Nico rig, or you don't know what a Nico rig is and you want to do it, I'll show you right now. I just got these. I've never used them, and what they are is these are rings, little rubber rings. You guys can see that. Different sizes. I think they have a 4mm, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. And it has a little hole there so you can put your hook through. So you can really keep that hook, you know, sticking out the way you want it. So they make them in different colors, a clear, a black, and a green pumpkin. And I actually set one up. I didn't put the weight in, but this is just a Zoom trick worm. And I wanted to practice putting them on. They actually have a tool. VMC makes a tool. I was just kind of using these needle nose to stretch them out. And you know, once you put that crossover ring over the bait, then you can just take your, and this is one of those weedless hooks that I got from owner. You just pop it through that end. You know, pull it back out and pop it. Let's see how easy they come back out. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I don't want to tear it. But once you put that hook through, then it's pointing out where you want it the whole time. Then you have your weight in here. I think I have this one here. These are worms that I have. These are the Nico worms that I have that I've really kind of used. Not that you know, a trick worm isn't fine for it, or little, you know, a Senko isn't fine for it. But this, I couldn't remember who made these worms. And I knew that, I thought Yamamoto, they were Yamamoto's, but they weren't. They're actually Daiwa's. Daiwa made them, you know, through, I guess Yamamoto made them for Daiwa. And it's like their Fat Nico worms. And I couldn't remember who made them because I have them in a box, in my Nico rig box. And here's just here I put one of the clear ones on. Now this I believe is the 6, and this is I could probably put a bigger millimeter worm on here, or a crossover ring on here, but fits fine. Got one of those size 1 hooks, those owner hooks, and it has a little weed guard on it because all the hooks I have for Nico rigging don't have any of the weed guards. I figured I'd try some. And it's got that bullet weight in the end. So you got to think that when this hits the bottom, that's the hook is pointing out where you want it, away from this this weight and towards the tail. So this is popping along the bottom, and you know, fish come up and eat it. So that's just a way to make your Nico rigging easier. Those crossover rings, they're pretty cool. I'm gonna try them out. I've never really thrown the Nico rig much, even before, you know, even with regular rings or just putting it, you know. I don't throw a wacky worm that often, quite frankly, but I figured I'd give this a try. I thought it would play pretty well here in the fall. And those fish are still kind of pinned on the bottom. So that's what it looks like, and that's one of those. I saw them on, I didn't see them on Land Big Fish, but I did see them on Tackle Warehouse. The Daiwa Yamamoto Fat Nico worm or something they call it. I had them in my Nico rig box, and I couldn't remember you know, who made them. So if you guys want to see a video on that, I can definitely do one, even though I am definitely not an expert when it comes to throwing a Nico rig. Something I have not done a lot, but I think it should play well around here. So that's kind of the setup there, and I just was practicing with those those crossover rings. I was just practicing with the different sizes. This is on the trick worm. So just imagine the weight's on there. I didn't put the weight on. This is just a 4-inch Senko. And so like they have different sizes for different, you know, thickness of baits, because I even have these other dia ones. If you guys have ever seen these, I didn't get these in this order. I'll just show them to you anyway. These Nico Macho worms. They're manufactured by Yamamoto, but they were made for Daiwa. And I got these back in the day and kind of just flipped them around in a Texas rig, and they're fine. But haven't really Nico rigged them. But if you see the thickness of this worm, I think I'm definitely going to get some of the big, those crossover rings. Get some of the big ones, because this is a fat piece of plastic, and you're going to want that ring somewhere like in this area. So I'm going to get some of the bigger ones. Maybe I'll get that tool and try it out, and I'll show you how that tool works. Even though, like the trick worm, I just kind of pushed the end of the worm through and just moved it down. It worked fine, but I might get that tool just to make it easier. But let me get back to the order. So I got the 5mm and the 6mm size. They come in a 10-pack. If you look on Tackle Warehouse specifically, I'll put a link to it. They actually list the baits that fit for the size. So, but you know, the thicker the plastic worm you're going to use, the bigger the millimeter you want. The 5 and 6 is kind of the middle size. Like I said, I think they've got a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe not a 3, maybe just 4. I don't know, but something like that. But I'll put links so you guys can check it out. But this is what they look like. They're just little plastic rings, rubber rings, because they do stretch. We'll see how durable they are. I don't see them. They seem fine. I mean, I guess if you caught a ton of fish, maybe the hook eventually could come, you know, rip out of this thing, but it seems pretty sturdy. But there's the clear one. Well, you guys can see that, and it has that little, hope that shows up. It has that little spot to put your hook through right there on top. Hope you guys can see that. It's a cool idea. So figured I'd give it a shot. I'm going to throw the Nico rig. I might as well get some of these cool Nico rig things to make it easier. And then I did get, now these hooks that are on here, these are those weedless hooks. It's a size 1. So they come in a 4-pack. I got one left on there. But if you're looking for a finesse worm hook, nice and sharp, this owner, it's got the, if I can get that last one out. It's really like kind of like a drop shot hook, but there it is. It's got a little weed guard, so give you a little protection from the grass or whatever the cover is. And nice sturdy hook, very sharp. Obviously, it's an owner. So I'm gonna give those a try. So that's my Nico rig stuff that I got for that order. Of course, if I'm ordering from Tackle Warehouse, you know, because I just can't help it because they're so darn cheap, I've got to get a bag of those pig claw trailers, bulk pack. I think it was $2. And that's a cool color anyway, the sour grape. They still have some left. I totally believe that I have promoted the sale of a lot of these on there. So Tackle Warehouse, you should thank me. But I've talked about this a ton on my site, or on my channel here. If you guys have not, or if you're new to the channel, this is a jig trailer that I really like. It's a discontinued one from Lake Fork. The only place I really see them is on Tackle Warehouse, and they don't even have as much as they used to, because they're, you know, on clearance. So they're like practically giving them away because they just want to get them the heck out of their warehouse because it's an old bait that, you know, is discontinued. But I think it's an excellent jig trailer. And you know, this is a bulk pack. They only have the bulk packs left. 25-pack, and I think it was $2. So if you guys want to try a solid jig trailer and not spend a lot of money, give them a try. But every time I make an order from there, I'll throw in a bag or two just because why not? They're so cheap. I did get a stock up on a few more of the I called it RoboCop Neds. Slip of the tongue there, the Roboworm Neds. Because it's my favorite Ned, probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And this is the Morning Dawn Chartreuse. So whenever I make an order too, when they're on sale especially, I'll grab a pack just to keep the stock up because I use them a lot. You know, I go through a lot of these. This color here, this Morning Dawn Chartreuse on Lake Champlain this spring was was awesome. This was the best color I threw up there. Really worked great. I like that chartreuse tail. I can't talk. Chartreuse tail. So that's the Morning Dawn chartreuse. It's an 8-pack, 3-inch bait. Ned, if you guys like throwing Neds and you haven't tried the Roboworm, it's a good one. Wish they had more color options. They used to have some other ones, some Tackle Warehouse exclusives that were really nice. I wish they still made them, but they don't. This is another color I really like, the Green Pumpkin Perch. Tackle Warehouse used to have a Tackle Warehouse color, a perch color that was great. I wish they still made those. Why they would stop making them is beyond me. Oh, this is different. Usually these are just, I don't think I've ever had one that's a tear-off. And this one is a tear-off. Of course, once you touch it, you can't. Wow. Are they doing that with their bags now? Easy, you just open them right up. All right. So, the Green Pumpkin Perch color. Roboworm Ned. Excellent, excellent color. It's got that chartreuse in there, a little blue. That I guess that's more of a watermelon on top. That great color right there. Even though they call it Green Pumpkin Perch. I guess it's Green Pumpkin. Yeah, I was calling it watermelon, but Green Pumpkin, that chartreuse in there, and that blue on the underneath. Great color. One of my favorites. I like them with that little chartreuse on the tail. And the last Roboworm Ned I got is just watermelon R&B. And I believe that means red and black flake, but I don't ever really see the black flake in there. But maybe it's in there. But there's definitely red flake in there. We can call it watermelon red. If there's black flake in there too, great. Oh yeah, I guess I kind of, when I roll it, I do see a little black flake. So, but great color. The other day when I was out, I was actually taking the watermelon ones and the green pumpkin ones and just taking that dye marker and taking the chartreuse one and just going a line down, and it was getting some bites. So I don't know if that helped, but I was doing it anyway. But if you guys have not tried the Roboworm Ned, give it a shot. It's a great one. 8-pack. Now they're on sale from Land Big Fish. I think their sale is still going on till tomorrow, till Monday, I think. And I think the Tackle Warehouse one is over, but I'm not sure. I have to check. But I'll put links to this stuff from Tackle Warehouse. If the sale's there, I'll let you know. And the last thing, of course, you know I love the Queen Tackle jig. So whenever, especially when they're on sale, I like to throw one or two in the order just to keep the stock up. And it's a tungsten jig, 1/2 ounce, and this is the Tennessee Craw color, which I like. They don't have a ton of colors, but all the colors are good. The next color I'll show you is my favorite, but this one's a good one too because it has orange in it. You know, I love a little orange in the jig. That Tennessee Craw is good. It's got the green in there, the orange. Nice stout hook, nice weed guard, Arky style jig. So if you're looking for a tungsten jig and you haven't tried the Queen Tackle one, give it a shot. It's a good one. Love that skirt, smells like coffee. At least in my mind it does. But I gotta put some rattles on these and I'll be ready to fish them. And I got another one, which is my favorite color, and that is the Blue Craw. That's the one I use the most. I do great with that color. I don't know what it is about it, but it's definitely a confidence color for me, even though I've been throwing their black magic one or whatever they call it. It's like black with blue flake, and been catching them on that too. So I just change colors every now and then just on a whim, just to try something different. But that one is a real good one. The brown, that, you know, that greenish with the pattern on there, that green like scale patterned one with the blue mixed in. That's a great jig color. And as I said, I'll just add some rattles to those and be ready to go. But that's what I got, guys. Now I'll show you quick. Now I don't have a rattle on this one, but just to show you this trailer here, how it looks on a jig. And this will match fairly well on here. Now, this is sour grape, I believe it was the color, right? Yeah. So when you rig these on here, if you're new to jig fishing, you haven't done it, some people will just take it, the chunk, and just do this, which is okay, I suppose, but then your chunk is going to do this, and it's going to wrap around here, and So I believe if you're going to use a plastic trailer for jig fishing, I think it's better to thread them on. Sits better, looks more natural. So you can actually see on the end of these, there's like a little circle, and that's where the, where they inject the plastic in when they're making the bait. So I just line that up with the hook. You just go right down the center of the body of that trailer, right till you get to the kind of like where there's like these two little eyeballs, and you go right split, right between the eyes. Just split it right through there, and then just pop it over that trailer, and see it's nice and straight on the hook. So now you have a nice compact jig here. Just these little claws sticking out the back. So the jig's on the bottom and these claws are flopping around. It's not going to move on you. And what's nice about this is these reek in a good way, like garlic. So that's a good combination. You got the coffee scent in that skirt, at least I think it is. They don't say it on there, but I always mention it because I can definitely smell it. At least that's what it smells like to me. But and then you've got that claw trailer. It's got those nice claws on it. It's got good coloring to it, and it's got that garlic smell. That's a good setup. But if you guys have seen my other videos, you know I like to add rattles, so I'll put a rattle strap on there and a couple rattles first, and then put the trailer on. But that matches pretty good. I could definitely throw that with that green with that. That would fit right in there. Looks good. So that's it, guys. That's my recent order from Tackle Warehouse, taking advantage of their sale. The usual, for me at least. And I have seen some guys have gotten these, and Clint sent me a picture. He got a nice box of these. He's got his jig trailers all ready to go. But, like I said, if you haven't tried it, $2 for a pack. Some of them are $3. They're on crazy sale. The pigtail trailer from Lake Fork Tackle. I don't know why they stopped making it. It's a nice trailer. But whatever. Some of the Sniper Finesse Weedless Nico hooks. That's a size 1. Guys, so I'll show it to you on those baits again here. But that's how that size 1 fits on there. Perfect. Nice finessey. It's almost like a kind of a big drop shot bait. It's got the weed guard there. That's on a little 4-inch Senko with that cross ring. What do you call those again? Crossover ring. I keep messing that name up. The crossover ring keeper, new to me. There it is on the trick worm. Awesome color there. That what is that? Black red core, I think. Red black core trick worm. Excellent color from Zoom. But definitely makes it easy to rig your Nico rig. So I'm gonna try it out next time I go fishing this week. It's coming up week when I go fishing. I'm definitely gonna throw it around on here. I got these rigged ready to go. I don't even have to. I might just tie them right on. And here's one of those Daiwa Nico, fat Nico worms that Yamamoto makes for him. That's with the clear one on there. You could adjust this, however you want it. If you want it a little further up the worm, you can. But that's with those size 1 hooks and the crossover rings on there. So a couple of those. Some Roboworm, or I almost said it. Roboworm Neds. Watermelon red and black flake. Green pumpkin perch, excellent color. And color did great this summer for me. The Morning Dawn chartreuse was excellent for me this year. And then, of course, throwing in a couple jiggies. A couple jigs from Queen Tackle, the Tungsten jig. If you guys want to try a tungsten flipping jig, it's a good one. It's a Tennessee Craw, I believe. Yes, 1/2 ounce, both of them. Tennessee Craw. I tend to throw 1/2 ounce most of the time. And this one is that Blue Craw, which is the one I really like. They're all good. I think I got 6 or 8 colors, and they're all good. That's the order. That's the order, and my 7,000th Tackle Warehouse sticker to stick on the boat. But that's it, guys. That's what I got. I'll put links to all this stuff on Tackle Warehouse. You can check it out. I don't know if their sale is still going on. The Labor Day sale may be over, I'm not sure, but I'll put a heading for it on there if it's still going on, so you can get this stuff for cheap. But most of this stuff, other than the trailers, I know you can get on Land Big Fish, and their sale goes for another couple days, so you can get them on there too. But that's it, guys. So if you guys have had any experience with these, a couple guys have reached out that they'd like them. So if you guys have had any experience with these, with the different sizes, I've got like I said, the 5s and the 6s. I may get from Land Big Fish a couple of the bigger sizes to try them out on some of these bigger baits I showed you. But that's it. So any questions, let me know. And please like this video. Please share it. If you guys are new to my channel, I am Mark. This is Northeast Bass Fishing, and welcome aboard. See you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.